Younes El Haddaji. I'm 26 years old. I'm very passionate about football, and I'm the founder of the Red Side Academy in Kortrijk. The Red Side Academy has a history since 1984 in Kortrijk, and there was a person, a man named Gino. Out of charity, he was organizing a lot of football activities and a lot of football squares in the city. It was you didn't have to register yourself or to reserve something. It was just open for everyone to go play football. And to be honest, the organization was like had a thing around 200-300 people every week who were coming. As a child, I had one great dream, that was to become a professional football player, like a lot of other people nowadays, of other youngsters. Often, a lot of people say, I want to become a football player because youngsters who are living in poverty, it's maybe a way to go outside the poverty because you earn a lot of money and you became popular. But the greatest reason is it was too hard for me to realize I didn't become a football player. And that's my philosophy. If you don't become a football player on the field, my father always said you can become a professional player, not on the field, but outside the field. And when you are on the field, you can create chances to score, but outside the field, you can create chances for youngsters to play sports. I was thinking like, okay, I have trained a lot for many years on the soccer fields with Gino, with the Red Side Academy when I was young. I saw how powerful this soccer project is for a lot of people. So I was thinking like, okay, I'm just a student, but okay, I can organize a lot of football activities 3 times in a week now. And now, yes, we are back with 200-300 people every week who are coming football. Another reason is not only about my dream, that's just my philosophy, but another reason is when I was young, I was going to the Red Side Academy. So, like I said, there was 100 of people, but most of these people don't have access to a football club for a lot of reasons. Some people don't have the financial, or they are living in poverty. You have to be honest. Today, when you are you want to register yourself in a football club, it's a lot of money. And if you have 3 children, it's not easy for everybody. Maybe for the one it's easy, but for a lot of people it's not easy. You can be honest about it. But there are a lot of refugees who are coming from another country and they want to integrate themselves. And it's good to be part of a football association, to meet a lot of people. That's good for the integration. But if you don't speak the language very well, it's a little bit difficult. And I think, on this way, I'm doing something great for Gino, because Gino always said, yes, the Red Side Academy will stay forever. And when we lost this person, I couldn't resist this. Answer I can give you is sports itself as a great language. A lot of time when I'm playing outside, I meet a lot of youngsters, refugees in Kortrijk, who don't speak the language Dutch, but also nothing about English, and so it's difficult to communicate. But when you are on the field with someone and you are playing against this person or together in a team, it's very weird. But on the end of the soccer game, we have a great we know each other better than before the match. I think just it's because the soccer game is a language itself, and when you do sports and a lot, I think the most important is for youth workers to organize a lot of activities outside, because when you are doing this outside, you don't have to register you don't have to reserve something, you don't have barriers about financial problems or language. And on these squares outside, I'm always saying the football squares outside, or just a park, is the best football club, because it's open for everyone. And you can always say a football club is not inclusive enough, but the most inclusive sports club is just a park, because you can go there whenever you want, where you want, and you don't have to do something before to participate. I believe that a lot of football clubs, or just sports clubs, they are trying to do their best to be inclusive. Okay, it's not easy for everyone, because also, to be honest, most of the football clubs want to win the games. They are competitive, and when you are competitive, it's difficult to have this on the same line as inclusive. There are a lot of people that just want to play sports. They just want to have the access or the right to playing sports, but they don't want to play competitive. They don't want a trainer with screaming and saying what you have to do. And that's the greatest problem with football clubs. They are too much focused on competitive and not on the inclusive values. But I think the best, I think the philosophy has to be saw on another way. If you're inclusive enough, and you are trying to do your best to have to give access to people who have financial problems or language barriers or other reasons, I think I'm always saying talent is colorblind. Like, there are a lot of people, if you're a refugee or not, you have a reason to play or not. There are too much people with talent, but they don't have access to a football club. And if a football club is inclusive enough, they will get more members with a great talent, and that's maybe the philosophy we have to see. I think they don't realize how much reasons you have why people don't feel comfortable, or why people can't be registered in a soccer club. I already said someone, so financial problem, the language sometimes, but also people, there are a lot of women, they don't feel comfortable to play with men. Because it's mixed, and I think everyone has the right to play, and there are a lot of football clubs who are not organizing football activities for women, or for also women, only for men. So they have to realize, and they have to maybe recruit someone who is a social worker specialist to teach him, or to let him realize how much reasons people can have to don't have why they don't have access to a football club. I will give you some examples. There are football clubs who have like a small container on the field, and they are giving some lessons about how you can prepare yourself for the exams. That's not the main goal for a football club, I know, but if you are realizing, or if you are helping a youngster with everything outside the football field, you will make it more easier for a person to feel comfortable to come to a football club. That's one example. But another example is, I have really met people who don't have access to a football club really say to me, I don't want to go to a football club because I don't have money for my football shoes, and I'm a little bit angry. I don't feel comfortable to say it. But I met some football clubs who have like a sports cell, or a person maybe you can speak with, nobody will notice, and they are searching to like to buy you once a year football shoes for you, fully for free. That's just a little examples that I can give you, and the football clubs who are doing this, I said they are a lot of more people when they are realizing all these reasons, and when they are working on these reasons. Yeah. I think the most important for owners of organizations, sport organizations, is to listen and to practice on the field with youngsters, because often you have an animator or someone who is teaching or with giving lessons or with giving the training, and these people are listening to youngster and know what the reasons are why people can't come or don't feel themselves comfortable to have access something. But the owner of a company is not on the field, and these people maybe have to go on the field to listen more with young pupils, to have maybe more discussions, to realize more what the reasons are by people, what the problems are, and why people don't feel themselves equally. So the start is just a good dialogue with the owner of an organization, the pupil and the practice, and the youngster themselves. Maybe they have to organize 3 times in a year a conference with everyone who is on board in the football organization or in a sport club, to listen the stories of youngsters. You don't have to see your migration background as a negative point, but maybe you have to see this on the other side of the medaille. You have another story, and maybe you can take your background. That is why I am doing my background as a positive point. Maybe I speak more languages, um, who can be an advantage in some situation, and realize for your background as a diaspora member what positive points you can take and who can give yourself more power in life.